Hello and welcome to Justpauses. We have been living for so many years by now, isn't it? 30 or 40 or 50 or more years have passed. Life goes on. Days and nights keep passing. Months and years just fly past us. We keep thinking, doing, collecting, amassing, playing our parts. We keep doing this or that. We get busy. We are immersed, lost in our schedules and goals. And then life throws at us something different, some surprise, some magic, or sometimes a little or a big blow. We then wonder why. I think it is perhaps to make us stop and take a pause. Don't you think so? From time to time, all of us need a nudge, isn't it? Whenever we are too happy or are too sad or are too full of pride, too arrogant and bashful, too afraid or are simply too full of ourselves, life gives us a nudge and makes us come to a halt. Perhaps life is trying to tell us, hey, hold on. It is one signal for us to take a pause. What if we, on our own, do stop for a few moments, look around carefully, look at ourselves, and see where are we and where are we headed? Who are we and what have we become? One big lesson which taking a pause teaches us for sure is that everything that is apparent is not always the real picture. Whenever we go on, as we run and race, go on judging people, incidents, situations, and life itself as they appear to be, or worse still, as we find it convenient, we get a nudge. It must have happened with you too, right? Once on a fine and sunny day, a private bus packed with worshippers was going on a pilgrimage. The temple was atop a steep hill, and the passengers were keen to reach the destination before the sun set. All of a sudden, dark clouds appeared from nowhere and roared thunderously. It began to rain heavily. The sky turned black and the visibility dropped. The bus continued to inch forward, though the passengers were horrified at the sudden fury unleashed by Mother Nature. They urged the driver to go on, though every few meters the bus shook as it precariously trotted ahead on the rocky path. At the same time, they did not want to stop and be stranded in the middle of nowhere. The pilgrims started praying and furiously moved the beads back and forth. One of us is certainly a sinner, and he or she has aroused the wrath of God. Clearly, God is upset with us, a voice shot out in the bus. Everybody turned towards the voice, stunned. The authoritative male voice rose again. Let us stop the bus every few meters, and one at a time, one amongst us get down for a few seconds. Clearly, when the sinner gets down, the bus will move smoothly ahead, and we shall all be safe. The voice said. Everyone nodded and murmured their assent to this proposal. Meanwhile, the storm was raging madly and raindrops were hitting the window panes with a deafening roar. The bus was wobbling so badly that it could plunge in the gorge below any moment. The man with the authoritarian voice got up and reached the driver and instructed him to stop the bus every few meters. As decided, one by one, the passengers got down from the bus and the bus inched forward. If there was no change in the conditions, he or she would run along and board the bus again. Then the next person would get down, and that is how it went on, till everybody had alighted for a few seconds and then boarded back. Finally, the one who had suggested the idea got down the bus and jogged along with it and was about to get inside again when he spotted a movement on the roof of the bus. He shouted that the bus be stopped, and climbed up the roof to find a woman crouching at one corner up there. She was in rags and drenched. On being found out, she began to tremble like a leaf. Apparently, she was cold and gripped by panic. The man began to shout mercilessly at the woman and dragged her down. Everyone came out of the bus and stood in the downpour, looking disgustingly at the culprit who had put all their lives in danger. There was no dissenting opinion. Of course, she is the reason why God is upset with us. She seems to be a beggar or a thief, and God knows what other sins she may have committed in life. Let her perish here in the rain, and we shall ask for forgiveness from God for having unknowingly brought a sinner at his doorstep, was the unanimous verdict. The woman pleaded and wailed, but it was all in vain. She said she wanted to go to the holy place to pray for her ailing son, but since she had no money to buy a ticket, she was sitting ticketless on the roof. Alas, nobody wanted to hear her cries. They cast a look of disdain at her, left her wailing on the roadside, and boarded the bus, feeling relieved that the sinner was out. The bus had barely gone 50 meters ahead when it hit a boulder, shook violently, and fell in the gorge below, killing everyone instantaneously. The story ends here, but our reflections must begin. No, the poor woman was not the sinner, and her sins had not put the lives of everyone in danger. Instead, the goodness of that one woman perhaps had protected the lives of everybody till they threw her out. We are in a hurry all the time, eager to label people, eager to chastise others, eager to pronounce judgments, though we know nothing most of the times. Our capacity to comprehend is just meager. It takes efforts and patience to try and see the whole picture. And mostly we never get to see it. And yet, wait we must and watch carefully what life and people have to offer to us. For every story unfolds only bit by bit. Thank you.